Isn't it amazing that in order to hunt or fish, you're required by your local state to have a license? If you want to drive a vehicle on your roads or highways, you better have a license. In order to practice medicine, law, or be a CPA, you're required by your local state to have a license. But not so when it comes to being a parent. Anybody can be a parent, and unfortunately, you don't have to have a license. In many situations, the children suffer. If you have a beef, a issue with your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-husband, your ex-wife, don't get your kids involved. Do not allow your children to be used by you as a pawn in your game of revenge. If you have an issue, don't involve them. See, adverse childhood experience is very real. It's a trauma that takes place in the heart and the mind of our youth. Whenever we play sick, psychotic games with our ex, trying to get back, trying to one-up, trying to outshine, and we're using our children as a pawn to maneuver them around in this sick game that we have with another adult, but we won't man up or woman up and face that adult, but we will use that child to hurt the other parent. That creates adverse childhood experience, trauma. And as a result of that, that child feels lonely. They go through depression, maybe suicidal ideation. They feel that somehow it's their fault that mom don't like dad or dad don't like mom. And, if it wasn't for me, they would get along. Adverse childhood experience, it later begins to now take different heights in middle school and even high school, becoming sexually involved with other people, promiscuity, partner after partner, because they're trying to get love and acceptance outside of the house because they're not getting it in the house. They begin to binge drink, getting involved in hard drugs, adverse childhood experience. So if you have any beef with your ex, you squash that like an adult man, like an adult woman with your ex. Don't involve your children. They had nothing to do with this. This is between you and that adult, not the child. Don't use that child as a pawn, because all you're doing is transferring your pain into that child. And when that child grows up and have a child or children, they're going to transfer that trauma through epigenetics into the very genes of their children. And that ain't the will of God.